yeah, I'll try not to talk to too many different characters for spoiler reasons and stuff. Yeah, one of the kind of, I don't know if you could call it an issue necessarily, but one of the kind of things with this game when you're at the camp is this is as fast as you can walk. I guess they didn't want like players sprinting through the camp or anything like that.
Room here if you want.
But yeah, players like say things to you here and there when you go through the camp. I won't interact with them too much because of what's just happened in the game and that sort of thing. This is kind of, yeah, the house and stuff. You can go in there. Arthur's room's actually in there as well. You can, sleep, change clothes, all that sort of stuff. In order to wash Arthur and his clothes, you have to visit a saloon. With the horse, you can brush it to clean it, and you can also, if you go into water in the game, or water, sorry, in the game, that cleans him off as well. I think if you go if the water splashes onto Arthur enough, that it will clean blood and stuff off of him. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I just know that it works with the horse. But this is my horse over here. It's called Jack, as you can see in the bottom right corner. You can pat him, so that you have to calm him down sometimes. If you've just been in a gunfight and stuff, he will start to get agitated and that sort of thing.
Good
But no, this is my one and only horse. I do have others in the stables, but they're all unnamed, and I don't even know what they look like. But when you first go to the stable and that kind of thing, what was I going to say? When you go to the stable and that, and you name your first horse, this is still my first horse. Luckily, he hasn't died yet. I have had to use a reviver thing on him. Luckily, I had one at a time. I'm not going to... I'll show you this is how you feed him and stuff. You just press the buttons on the side for the commands, obviously. You need to do that in order to get his stamina and his health back up and that sort of thing. I like the idea what they have with the health and then the core health. So what you guys can see, if you look over near the mini map on the left bottom corner, and you can see the two little white symbols there, the one with the heart and the one with the light thing. It looks like a flash kind of thing. That's his stamina and that's his health. And because I'm targeting or interacting with Jack, that's his health and stamina. But where you have the line on the outside, that's his main health. If obviously that goes, then this works the same way with you as well. You have your own, you have Deadeye, stamina, and your own health. Of course, Jack doesn't have Deadeye, but it's the same. If I kind of walk over here, yeah, if I'm bringing up items and stuff, you can see his health, stamina, and Deadeye. What it does is when, let's say his stamina goes nearly empty, or if he needs to recharge some of it, the icon in the middle is what's called the core, so either the health core, stamina core, or a Deadeye core, and it uses that in order to refill the outside bit. So when if I was to take that, I'll try not to release. Yeah, if I was to eat this, the baked beans thing, and you can see that it says that it restores what it restores there. That doesn't restore the outside health. So if you want to, as you can see with all three of those, I've got them all full up, and Deadeye isn't full up at the moment. If I wanted to fill up Deadeye, right now, I'd have to use. See how that says? I know it says about reducing the core of the Deadeye, but you see how that says about the outside ring? That fills up that. You can see that flashing over the left-hand side. That does that as well. So I really like the kind of system towards that. It's sort of like a degree of self-healing, but obviously if you get too damaged or something, you have to take one of these. Or it depends what situation you're in, whether you've got the core's empty and the outside's full, or the other way around. Of course, if the outside is empty for one of these things, then it will refill from the core. But let's say, for example, if I use all of my Deadeye and the core goes as well, I'd have to restore the main core thing in order to kind of recover that. So it's like him taking something to sort of replenish himself, and then the rest of it slowly fills up. So let's say let's say you have a cut, right, and the core of it needs treatment. So you put the plaster on it. That's almost like healing the core of it. So you kind of, you clean it, you put that on, and then your core would kind of be full up in a way, and then that cut would slowly heal over time. That's like when that ring would heal over time. Again, depends on if it's stamina, health, or whatever the situation is. But I just thought I'd explain that because that's quite a different kind of feature that they have in Red Dead Redemption 2, because it wasn't in the first one that they did. You got things like binoculars, lock breakers, cameras. I've not used the camera yet actually. You got like fishing. You can craft stuff. That's the bandana. So if you're robbing a bank or something. You've also got a tent which you can use if you're out in the wild somewhere and you're away from the camp and you need to like rest or craft something or heal or just or like rest him or whatever. You can get the camp out, then you can get your crafting thing out, and you can do some like out in the wild crafting and that sort of stuff. Obviously, if you come back to the main camp, you can buy stuff and whatever. So just to be on the safe side for this video, I'm not going to take Jack out, because if Jack actually dies, he isn't coming back, and I'd like to keep him alive. One of the last things I'll mention with the horse is if you have more than one horse that you own, you have to remove. You can see it says remove the saddle. If you take that off, if I was to take that off of Jack and put it onto one of my other horses, that would become my main horse. So when I was to whistle near them, the one with the saddle would come over to me. I haven't actually experimented with that because, like I said, I've I've had Jack as my main since the start. But I'll take. This is one of the other ones that I apparently own. I think he's over here actually. You can obviously run like this once you get out of the camp, but you can't run that quickly in there. See, he's actually agitated right now, so if I was to pat him, that sort of calms him down. It would say calm instead of pat, and you can just sort of do that.
There we go.
Brush him. I didn't show the brush feature actually. That fully cleans him, which doesn't make that much sense, because you can see how he's like doing it on his neck. If he's got blood on his legs or something, or the back of him, it will clean that off as well. I suppose it's a simpler way to do things rather than like having to go and spray a horse with a hose pipe or something like that. So that's a good, neat way for them to sort of just clean your horse, and a nice basic way that doesn't get in the way of too much stuff. As opposed to Arthur, who has to go to a saloon and take a full bath and stuff like that. With his, you can do trimming as well. You can like cut his beard, his hair. That will all grow as well. Obviously, it will wash his hair when you take the bath anyway. But yeah, let's take this out and kind of explore a little bit. I'll show you guys the main town. Where is it? It's over here somewhere. I'm not going to do a mission, obviously. Yeah, that's the kind of city that you're in now. Let's just go. Oh god, I have another mission. I knew about that one down there. I didn't know about this one. Let's see if we have any. We haven't got any stranger missions right now. I'm just gonna ride out into the wild. Obviously, if I die, it doesn't matter. You can't permanently kill Arthur because he's the main protagonist. You got your camp funds there. You can contribute as well. There's a lot of horses around. There's a lot of horses around this camp for some reason. But as you can see it, as I'm like galloping forward, you can see the meter is going down a bit slower than usual. And obviously, if I'm not going to kill this horse, but if he gets shot or something, his health will go down as well. Alright, let's introduce you to a bit of combat here. We've got a bit of an opportunity. If I get a bounty, I can obviously just load my save again or something. Taking cover is just R1. I've got the dual wield, as you can see as well, and I quite like using that actually. You've got Deadeye, which Deadeye pretty much works the same way as before. I'm just going to turn this down slightly. You guys can see like a PlayStation screen right now, but you'll see the main game again in a minute. There you go. So let me just see if I can. So obviously just same as before. He's definitely dead. So no, this game's phenomenal so far. The story is really great. I might do a completely individual review and spoiler review. Obviously I haven't finished the game yet, and I like to do separate that stuff as well. So as you guys can see, my health has gone down, and you can see the heart's kind of pumping. That's because the core's helping me to replenish the outside. You can see that going around. So it's a nice little sort of way they've got to sort of do that. But if this refill my Deadeye, for example, fully restores Deadeye. See, that doesn't help with the core of it. But if I was to take that, and then that would slowly refill that. Obviously, if you want something really quick, like if you're about to die, you can use that, or you can use the core to kind of refill things as well. I think I actually went over here for a bounty before. I want to show you guys the looting. There's a particular animation that he does as a body here. He actually like lifts it up and puts his hands in the pockets, as you can see. It's a nice little sort of touch that makes things that bit more realistic as well. And if I was to like lift him up, I guess I can just do that anyway. You might see blood on him. I don't know if you guys can see because of the light there, but there's blood on his like jacket and shoulder now. There's a bit of blood on his face, and that sort of thing. So that's pretty cool. What else is there to show you? Yeah, you can see it on the back, on his back there as well. So it's a nice little touch, and like if you, like yesterday I was doing this bounty hunt thing, and I killed the guy. Luckily it was a dead or alive one. I killed the guy, and and because I had to carry him to put him on the back of my horse and then drive him into town, people were like, "Oh my god," and reacting and like jumping out the way and stuff like that. So it's you know, just those little touches that make things even more worth it, or even more immersive and sort of realistic. And yeah, that when you loot bodies, like you just saw, you can get some of these tonics and stuff like that, and that sort of thing. I think I already looted him. Yeah. See, now because that horse that I had isn't my main, I can't whistle him back. I don't know where he's actually gone. Over there somewhere? I don't think he went that far. Yeah, he's just over here. And of course, like if you go out of range of your main horse, and that sort of thing, you can't whistle through. It does get that. That's one of my complaints with the game, is that you have to go to a stable to get your main horse back. You can like retrieve him from there and stuff if he's left out in the wild. But no, great game, absolutely fantastic so far. I won't get into story here, but the story is really good, and I like the way that they're sort of connecting the dots. Because if you guys didn't know, this is a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 1. I'm just gonna kind of go around for a bit. Am I that close to the house? I want to see if I can run into, not a stranger, because the stranger missions are more like side quests, but if I can run into any like encounters, you'll get these little like, you'll get someone shouting or shooting or whatever the case may be, and it will appear as like a white dot on the map, like someone will be in trouble or injured, or like this woman. And of course you can like I could kill her if I wanted to. She might be able to kill me. I can accept or decline the race or just walk off. I'm gonna. And as I put on Twitter the other day, people will just aim guns at you because you looked at them, and that kind of thing. So like, if I greet these guys.
Partner. Hey, what do you want? I can see you're a fellow who ain't to be messed with. So, won't start. So long.
If you do that, you can see on the triangle thing it had call out. You can call someone out and rob them if you are able to. I suppose. What are these people up to here? See, there's all these little random bits and pieces of encounters, and they're all really good as well.
Hey. Hey, mister. Hey there, fella.
Some people are just nice to you, simply, and they'll just be like, hey, have a nice day. You know, like a nice normal person. Some people will like pull their gun out and be like, get away from me, and they won't give you that much chance. You can jump over these as well. But yeah, excellent game. I'm going to finish here actually. I'm going to put a waypoint back to the camp so I can get Jack and do some story stuff. Where's the main camp? It's here. But yeah, thank you guys all very much for watching. That was my kind of later impressions, a little bit different to the Assassin's Creed one that I did. The only other later impressions video I've done is for Assassin's Creed Origins, which was last year's game. If you did miss it today, or I guess recently, depending on when you're watching this, I did recently do a spoiler-free review for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So yeah, what I might actually try and do next week, or when you're listening to this, is I might do like a Red Dead day of content sort of thing, which might be I have a 2-hour Let's Play that I recorded, I have this later impressions video, and I have a spoiler-free review. I might do those and release them as like one big Red Dead content sort of chunk. And then the week after, maybe I'll do. Well, I'll have to finish. I want to finish the game obviously before I do a spoiler-free review, because you know the ending of the game and stuff. So I'll see when I can get around to doing that. One of my plans for the game, because the story is really kind of picking up and stuff, I don't want to do as much side quests at the moment. But what I might do is, if I can not rush through the story, because I definitely don't want to rush through the game, but if I can kind of go through the story and that stuff, finish that, do the spoiler-free review. And then I can kind of enjoy the other little side quests and stranger stuff and all those sorts of things, because those things are very, very good as well. And there's always like different types of encounters. Some guy will say to you like, "Can you give me a lift?" And then he'll pull you off a horse, and you'll have to get your horse back. So yeah, great game. Obviously, highly recommend it. This is going to be one of the Game of the Year nominees. Probably it's going to be in a lot of people's top 5s, if not Game of the Year sort of contenders. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and I'm used to saying listening because of all the podcasts that we do. Yeah, stick around for all the stuff that we got planned. Lots of stuff coming. Entertainmenttalk.org, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.